Get rid of their Galvanic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And actually cancel. We're going to keep that one to defend. Just in case something weird happens. Kapow! Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. And a happy Canadian Thanksgiving to everybody watching. Of course, this might come out a day later, but I hope you had a magical weekend, spent it hopefully safely with some friends and family. Today, we have an anti-meta deck, right? We're taking down all of the decks from the World Championship with relative ease, not really actually running into any troubles. Alrund's Epiphany, no problem. Goldspan Dragon, really no problem. And the aggro decks in general, definitely no problem. So this is going to be a, I don't even know what you'd call a Rakdos Aristocrats deck. We have a lot of sacrificing going on, making a lot of tokens, and then generating a lot of value from those tokens that we're going to be making, right? We're going to break down the deck list, talk about the strategies and synergies for you guys that are included within the deck, and then we're going to showcase all of that in the gameplay footage and teach you how to play it effectively and efficiently, wrapping up with our final thoughts and deck review. So if you find any value within this video, please just give it a thumbs up. It's a great way to help support the channel. You can also subscribe, join the Discord community. That's going to be available within the Linktree link in the description below, and maybe even become a full-time financial supporter through our Patreon or YouTube membership program. Cheers. Thank you all so much for your time and attention. I really do appreciate it. Let's take a look at the deck. All right, so 60 card, best of one, the Devil's Playground. Thinking of ways to name this deck was the hardest part because there's so many great names, right? The Meat Grinder, the Bird Hook Massacre, right? There's so many cool ways that we can name this deck, but it's the Devil's Playground because we have Burned Down the House, which just really meshes the deck together in more ways than I can explain, except I will. 60 card, best of one, average 2.6. We have 15 non-creatures and 21 creatures. This is a sign of a healthy mid-range deck, and 24 land in here as well, so we should be curving out relatively consistently throughout our games. We have the Haunted Ridge and the Blightstep Pathway in the deck for land consistencies. We are basically, in this video, just testing the deck. I didn't want to stray away from really consistent lands before we know the deck works. Now that we do, spoiler alert, we can maybe start adjusting our land totals, maybe work in some Field of Ruins. We don't really need the creature lands because we're so based on our token strategy already, but you know, the Den of the Bugbear makes a token, and we can potentially gain value off that, but who knows, right? So just sticking with the basics today with the land, improving it in the future. Again, I think Field of Ruin far outweighs most other things, but you know, the lands aren't really a problem, right? We have a billion chump blockers. It's fine, right? Anyways, let's break down the deck, right? So we have the Meat Hook Massacre. This is one of the best cards in black. As far as I'm concerned, we have Alrund's Epiphany. We have, oh gosh, the Chariot. We have Goldspan Dragon. And we have the Meat Hook Massacre now in black, right? So I don't know what white's best card is, but we're focusing today around this nasty black card. And when it enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until the end of turn. So first off, Indestructible is not being protected. Not that it's really a problem within the current meta. It is just nice though. And whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So that's what we're really looking to bank off of. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, we're going to gain 1 life, and that can help mitigate us through the late game if there's an aggro deck that's pretty nasty, right? So we'll remove their creatures within the combat blocks and gain life along the way. Also draining their life throughout the process, right? So the Meat Hook Massacre is the meat and potatoes of the deck. We have a treasure package as well. So, you know, Shambling Ghast is in here, the 1/1 when it dies, -1/-1 to another target creature, or creating that treasure for ourselves. That's really nice. We have the Painter in here, a 1/2 ETB created treasure, and then whenever another creature enters the battlefield on top of the Painter, if you spent a treasure to cast that spell, it will enter with a +1/+1 counter on for each treasure that you spent this way, which is really, really nice. Deadly Dispute, instant speed for 2, sacking creature or treasure to draw 2 cards and create a treasure. Holy Toledos, right? This is so good within the deck. So that's kind of what we have going on for the treasure package. You know, not using the Skullport Merchant in this deck, we're focusing instead on the Colorless Blood Mage for our 3-drop, and I really like this card in the meta. I expect it to be played a lot more than you've currently seen, which is almost not at all. The utility here for 3 is incredible. It's a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, we get to choose one, right? Either creating a 1/1 pest. This is good for our meat hook. We can also, you know, sacrifice it with dispute and other things later. Good value here, right? 2 creatures for 1 card. That's the bare minimum. We can draw a card and lose 1 life. Well, that is very, very good. We do not mind that. The loss of life is mitigated through the meat hook because we're going to be gaining it back. And then we can also have it exile target player's graveyard. Oh, sorry, Lear, not today. So this is really cool because it's in a card that is in an aggro base shell, a 2/1. With all the other abilities, it's not like a go blank, right? This is a, you know, more of a control mid-range card. So you're still getting the body in play, but you're definitely dealing with that graveyard as well, which is really, really cool, right? Back to the meat hook going wide. We talked about the treasures, which is going to help us gain access to a lot of our spells. The mana effectiveness or efficiency, whatever, is great. So once we have all those treasures, we have the meat hook in play, hopefully, then things get really fun, right? First priority is obviously Loth, the Spider Queen. Whenever a creature we control dies, put a loyalty counter on Loth, right? So that's going to synergize with the meat hook. You know, the same trigger will affect both things. 0, draw a card, lose 1 life. -3, create 2 2/1 black spider creature tokens with reach and menace. A, sorry, Goldspan Dragon. And B, you know, just 2 creatures plus a planeswalker in 1 card. That's really good. 3 bodies. -8, emblem, with whenever an opponent is dealt damage by 1 or more creatures we control. If that player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference. So 8 life loss every turn that we're dealing damage with one of the menace creatures. Not really what we're going for, but sure, it's fine, right? And then once Loth is in play, right, we can go wide with the creatures. Tainted Adversary for 2. It's a 2/3 with Death Touch, passive removal, an amazing blocker in the other aggro matchups. When it enters the battlefield, we may pay 3 any number of times when we do put that many +1/+1 counters on the Tainted Adversary, and then create twice that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with Decay, right? So, you know, it comes in for 2, we pay 3, total of 5. You know, you're getting 2/2 zombies. That's going to help with the meat hook. That helps with our other interactions like Dispute, Eaten Alive. Cool. 8, we're getting 4. 11, we're getting 6. Holy Toledos. And you can see how that will really add up. And there's multiple copies of it in deck. So it's good with the meat hook. It's also really good with Loth, right? Because when they attack, they're dealing damage and they die, which triggers, you know, more damage and more loyalty counters. Burn down the house, you know, making those zombies, not the zombies, the devils. And they will deal damage by attacking with haste. They'll deal damage when they die through themselves, their own ability, plus the meat hook ability, and they'll give loyalty counters to Loth. You can see how this deck really starts to synergize together now, right? And of course, we have all of the bodies. We can sacrifice them with the Predator at instant speed to trigger the hook and Loth whenever we want, tapping it, giving it a +1/+1 counter, exiling a card from a graveyard as well, and then, you know, the indestructible, which is nice as well if they have removal. We have Jadar, you know, it's a 1/1 that creates a Decay zombie. Whenever we don't have one, it just allows us to attack with our Decay, make a new one. Attack with Decay, make a new one. Trigger the hook, trigger Loth, you know, really, really good value there. And then it's Eaten Alive, sack a creature or pay 4 extra to exile a creature or planeswalker. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Early game, sack something. Late game, just pay for it if you want, or sack. I don't know what you're doing. And yeah, so that's the deck, right? As far as your overall strategy and synergy, to recap, ramp up with the treasures. Get Loth in play, get the meat hook in play, and then, you know, burn down the house to wipe, or assemble your own devils, Tainted Adversary to make a bunch of zombies, and then utilize those creatures through Eaten Alive, through Deadly Dispute, through Emberstorm Predator, to really just outgrind your opponents, right? So that's the deck. This was the deck list. Thanks so much for watching. We actually went 3-0 against some of the greatest decks today. Something that I'm really looking forward to playing more with in the future. No Goldspan Dragon in here, no Alrund's Epiphany in here, just some good old-fashioned meat hook, baby. So, you know, we're still using some great cards, but at the end of the day, doing our best to avoid what is predominantly filling up the meta. So thank you all so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, support financially if you can afford to do so. If not, don't worry, that's fine. I love you regardless. Enjoy today's content, and we'll be back to wrap up after the gameplay with our final thoughts, potential deck upgrades, and more cool stuff just like this. Opponent goes first, we're fine, let's go. That's a pretty cool turn 1, turn 2. With some stuff in the pocket. Eaten Alive's Pretty fun. Pretty fun. Big time fun times. I guess. I wonder what you are. What could you be, my friend? Let's just go all in. As much damage as possible, as quickly as possible. Dodge Walrus Disruption. It could just be a saw it coming. Yeah, okay, whatever. We'll draw a card with the Blood Mage. Or should we dodge Walrus Disruption again? Probably. I think that was a good choice. And they wipe the field. No, that's not a red source. I guess let's pull the counterspell. It's better than them using their mana on a draw. We will draw land. Yeah. That opens up our Predator, but we're in trouble if there's a field wipe. Oh, this really doesn't matter. We can just take another black source here. That signifies that there's not much for them to do on their end step. They get that second red for burn down the house, though. Okay. Yikes. There it is. Okay. We are, I mean, still in this, technically swinging for lethal, but 6 cards in hand. Oh, kind of doubt it. If only we had that Predator out just a little earlier. Down to 5, though, is not bad. I mean, we have our own Devils, so as long as we don't get comboed on. Which we will, let's be honest. Guarantee something goes into Foretell here. But we may have their backs against the wall enough that they're forced to just try and defend, right? Instead of laying in those combo pieces to be the aggressor. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. 6 mana available. And they have played a land this turn already, so that's going to be... Okay, they're making the Devils. They live on the ground. That gives us lethal. Submit 1. Make the treasure. We go to 4, and then we attack, tap, and go to 5. Beautiful. So sorry. Anyways. Our opponent goes first. That's fine. I mean, this looks pretty tasty. I wonder if they're an aggro deck or not. They are. Can we get to 5? Ooh. The hook could be good on 3 or 4 before 5. Just as a preemptive, let's make sure this stays under control type situation. No way. Absolutely. Treasure Town. It's actually really good for us. Okay. So this is going to be unpleasant, but it is what it is. Do you think they're trying to get it above 5? They technically could. Hit for 4. Should we sack the treasure to draw 2? No. Maybe. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, it replaces itself, and we just get more options. It's just lands. Just meat hook for one. Keep the treasure, and that's a house burning accident. This will help us stay alive. Does that spirit go above 4? That's gonna be the question. They'd have to push it to 6. They get it to 5. Nice. Okay. Wow. Wowzers. I do not think we can afford to take the turn off. However, I would love that an absolute ton. Let's try to do it. I'm so greedy. I'm so greedy. Go big or go home, right? And like they're gonna scoop, so I want to make sure we get the most out of this content. Yeah, sure. Whatever you want. Well, they don't want to attack with the Intrepid because they'll lose it. But we're getting loyalty, we're gaining life. Or sorry, we're dealing damage there, I guess. And now we just clean it up. I mean, we could just make the devils, too. I'm going to do that with the first one. That's a BM move, right? When we could wipe the field, but we make devils instead. Oh my gosh, that's nice. So we could make extra zombies. It costs 2 and then 3, which is a total of 5 we have. We're going to 6, which isn't quite enough, but it's a few. Just 3 little devil blockers. It's fun! We kill the Faceless Haven. That's the highest threat. We can't really touch it with the burn down the house normally. That's a good reason to play the devils, is now you can interact with that house instead of just the tokens there. And you see how we don't even have to wipe the field? We can just clutter it all up, baby. Just fill it up. Man, this place is flooded, but not with lands. That's important. With creatures. And then we can just let the meat hook basically do the heavy lifting for us. Let's do it again. Oh, why not? I mean, next turn we could have done it twice. Ghoul Caller out as well. Why not? Take our draw. Nice. No attacks. This poor mono white player. Oh! Spellbinder grabs burn down the house. We still just cast it. This might be a scoop. This might honestly be a scoop. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 creatures in play. Good game, right? So what we do here is we attack with everyone. We smash in. They block what they block. Those creatures die and trade. Lolth goes up because of those interactions. We minus on Lolth. Great. And then we burn down the house, wipe everything else that's there, right? So we'll have gained those 2 extra from the attack interactions that would have just taken place through the wipe anyways. And that's a lot of fun. Well, there's not a lot of early game interaction here. Let's just basically pray they're a slower deck, but that's slow in the wrong sense, right? That's not the land we want to see. I want to face an aggro deck. I want it to be easy, man. I just want to play my 5 land and wipe the field. Right? I just want it to be easy. This looks like it's going to get removed before it makes the decay zombie. Yeah, power word. Smash your face off. It's a good card. I like it. I like it. And they've got that Storm Giants in play already, which is, oh, pretty annoying. Draw that 4th land. Oh, we already have it. Well, draw something else. Draw the 5th land. A meat hook. Something. Just draw me a card. And, yeah. This is the Grixis deck. They have 5 mana. They might just wreck us with a Leer. I mean, we can kill her if unprotected, but it's pretty easy for them to protect her. 1 mana, right? It's like, ain't nothing but a thing. So they can draw and discard here, and that's really going to help them out. Not to mention the life gain. They have counter magic up too. Fading Hope's a great card to have in the graveyard. Hit for 2, pass the turn. Just not playing into a Warrior's Disruption. I refuse to. Well, we know what that is, sadly. Decent. Let's pull out some counter magic with these predators. You know, we are dodging Wari either way, but this way we can dispute it if things go wrong. They have mostly bounce spells, though. So they'll need to prioritize those correctly because they don't all bounce Planeswalkers, right? And they have Haul in, which is brutal. Predator does not interface well with the bounce effects. It does against the removal, which they go for here. I'm going to try to take it. They could counter, but we have enough land anyways. Like, we're dropping to 6, so who cares? We get the draw, we get the treasure. They have 3 mana still. Let's just go to Devil Town. We leave 1 back for the Haul. They could interact with it and then attack, but whatever. We still have 19, so there's wiggle room. Well, it doesn't matter. I did not expect that. So we're in trouble again. Right, we could get hit for 7, unmitigated, entirely. It could just be double turn. Liar with all that protection. Okay. It's just a 1 fade, though. So they're gonna, the thing is they're gonna bounce it and replay it next turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to devil. And these devils work exceptionally well with Eaten Alive. Because if there's one creature you want to remove, you're not forced to spend the entire card's value killing for 5. You can still make the devils and then kill for whatever you want. 1 extra, right? That's a real benefit as far as I see it. So she gets bounced. We do a damage to them. The question is, do they have an organic one? No. So this goes to exile. They keep their creature. One attack. Play the Tainted Adversary. They can draw and discard. It'll be an auto discard with the Liar in hand, because they won't want to discard that, right? They go for it, it looks like. They toss a Cinderclasm, which they have access to. Right? Land out. Maybe should have kept that for the Celestis discard. I don't know. You tell me. Nice. Nice. All hope is not lost yet. It does look grim, but we're going to try to hold on in there. Like, as long as there's no more bounce effects, and as long as they don't double Cinderclasm here, because they do have 4. Right, we want to get a Predator in play first. So this takes that. Well, no, it doesn't, because they could wipe both of these. If they do it, we kill the birds. If we play the Predator, they wipe our 1/1s and then kill the Predator. This doesn't kill Planeswalker, though, so I think we're in with Loaf. Right? But then they Cinderclasm, wipe our creatures. Well, they're tapped here now, actually. Only 2 devils because we sacked that one earlier. Okay. So they have 9 mana. They need 7 to attack, which leaves them 2. This is so risky. I think we're screwed. Because they're going to Cinderclasm and then attack Loath with Liar. Loath, or the Liar's hard to take care of. We need an answer for it here. Maybe Loath should have just drawn. It's hard to say. I like the creatures that I can now sack. They're going to copy their Cinderclasm? Oh, it's a Demon Bolt. Let's see where the new target goes. We'll sack that. I mean, the loyalty doesn't matter. I thought that was another Cinderclasm. I'm going to be honest. I was dodging that Cinderclasm. It's a Demon Bolt. LOL. And now they could kill the spider, but they're out of cards. They have all the Storm Giants. But I'm about to kill this Liar. Let's block it. Oh, X equals 4, sorry. For a total of 6. And then we're just getting hit for 7. We can't do the Solitas. That's a sorcery speed thing. Goodbye, liar. We gain 1 life. Back up to 20. For 8, we could kick it twice. We could play it, block, or wait, and that they're going to make 6 zombies. I'm going to wait. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. Please don't get an all-around epiphany. If they do, we kind of just lost. But if they didn't, they just hit for 7. We're still at 20, so, like, who cares? Frig right off, Randy. And hopefully that's not a counterspell. Which they could do, because Lear's now in the graveyard. They've got 3 mana up. I like it. 4 zombies. Whenever a creature we control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So we're sitting on 8, 12 damage right here. Plus an additional 4 for 16 damage. And now we still have protection against the Storm Giant for this turn, unless they're dealing with it. But they're down to 8 mana, 9 mana, 7 mana. So they could still activate it, but there would be no interaction on the adversary. And we could block it with Death Touch. That's fine, right? That's really good. They make birds, we make zombies. Which looks meaner? The zombie or that bird, baby? You tell me. Should be the zombie, but I know the bird's got everybody, you know, with the PTSD. Caw-caw! Oh, it's time to stop eating your crow and start drinking your crow, ladies and gentlemen. They are a diggin'. They get the bounce spell for 1, 7 mana left. Has a land been played? Yes, a land has been played. Perfect. So they cannot even cast that Fading Hope. I mean, never a liar into... Well, that's fine. I don't think we mind, do we? I mean, the bounce spell is good. Down to 13. The Celestis gains them life. That's actually annoying. They might still get this, but we're doing our best, right? They have no protection for Liar. So it's like, get right out of here. I'm just going to pay for it. Right? You're out! And now we play the Predator. Go in full control here, I guess. If I can do it. There we go. Just so we can sack a zombie after it attacks. Or no, I don't think we do that. I would rather just chump block. Because they're going down to 2. Yeah, we just leave it. right? And then the Predator dies. Oh no, the Predator's going to get bounced. That is a, or no, that was a Galvanic Iteration, so they lost that to the grave or into exile, right? They lost that Fading Hope, totally. So there's no Fading Hope access. 2 cards in hand with a Galvanic Iteration. 1 card in hand. Is it an Allrund? Is it an Allrund? Please don't do it to me. They're going to draw and discard with the Solitas. 11, 12 technically. That would take them, what, down to 8? It's a Fading Hope and then an attack for 7. Yikes. This is too close for comfort. That gives them another turn to get us. We can double dragon, but they have that iteration. Oh. 10 mana too. That's perfect. We have the treasure for a total combo wombo here. And the Jadar is amazing with the meat hook from that decay that it makes all the time. And we can tap the Predators. Basically, as soon as it comes out if we want. We'll, of course, do it for indestructible on their blocker, though, on that hull. They get two draws here, basically. Really good game. Oh, no, we win. We win. Because I can sack all these creatures. Before that life gain trigger goes off from the Solitas, we take it. We take it, baby. Get rid of their Galvanic. Thank you. Thank you. And actually cancel. We're going to keep that one to defend. Just in case something weird happens. Kapow! Beautiful. Oh my gosh. That instant speed sack effect, that's giving me flashbacks of Woe Strider. How many times did Woe Strider just win the game out from underneath people, right? Just like, no, wait, I can have priority too, you know? And we get it. The Meat Hook Massacre. So good. That was such an amazing match. They even did cast Allrund on us. They cast Liar on us. Woo! I love it. Absolutely beautiful. Holy Toledos. Okay, I could get behind it. What I would love is a Necromentia in the deck. Sorry. Maybe Duress sneaks its way in here, right? I don't mind that. That could be pretty cool as well. Just the Meat Hook, though. It's such a good card. It's kind of goofy how good it is. You know, it doesn't matter how many 1/1s they play. Unless they finish you that game, boom, all your birds are gone. We got you. And burn down the house, you know, whether you're making the devils potentially doing 6 damage or, you know, wiping the field, getting massive card advantage out from underneath your opponent. It's going to be a really satisfying card to play. Looking forward to utilizing Burn Down the House a little bit more. I actually pulled 2 copies of this in my Mythic Qualifier weekend and didn't use it in my deck. I still regret it. If you guys didn't see that deck building video, I just put that out. And we also have my matches in which I went 4 and 3. Not bad for a kid who doesn't play Limited, but really looking forward to improving that skill set in the future. So definitely check those videos out if you haven't seen them yet. I'll try to link them in the comments below as well for easy access. Thank you all so much for your time and attention. What cards would you put in this deck? I mean, Goldspan Dragon, right? I know, but I didn't want to. So I think that this is good. Maybe Jadar isn't as good as just kicking the adversary, but at the same time, if you don't have a big adversary yet, Jadar's so good just to like get that value through Eaten Alive, through the Dispute. So I'm having a ton of fun with this deck. As far as upgrades, you know, take the couple copies of Field of Ruin, right? We don't have any instant speed removal on the lands. I mean, of course, we have really good chump blockers. The dragon can get big and just block whatever. The devils and stuff like this, right? Meanwhile, outgrinding our opponent with the Meat Hook. So it's not the end all of the world, and I think that's why we still perform so well today. It was because of those devils really dealing with the creature lands that our opponent had, but why not? I mean, the land seems super consistent. Add a couple Field of Ruins in here, and then you're protected that much more. You know, they see you have it, so they don't want to really activate it. It'll just sit there and be a dead card for them, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, potentially there's Zariel. I mean, it's kind of doing what we want. Makes tokens when it dies, dealing damage to any target. So that is, again, being supported through the hook, through Loath, right? Really good synergy here. Giving our creatures +1 is not bad when they all have Menace, right? They could be 3/1s with Menace and Haste. So that's actually not that bad. The Haste is also favorable through the Tainted Adversary Decay tokens. So I do think Zariel, Archduke of Avernus, could really be a nice addition to this deck, personally. Let me know what you guys think, what your pick is for a unique card that you'd like to see included in the deck. Obviously, Goldspan could go in here if you want. I get it. Be the best you that you can possibly be. And, you know, with that being said, thank you all so much for your time and attention. I hope you have a magical day. Thank you so much. Support the channel if you can. Check out the Magic qualifier weekend that I took part in down below in the comments, and we'll see you soon in the next video.